My only problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people. I mean, you're trying to reduce crime. You're just giving them more room to breathe. But I understand. Can you imagine the shape you have to be in to deport black people? Yeah, I'm actually training for the 3-gun competition right now.
Now, first things first here, Johnson. A lot of people who saw this clip, they're very pissed off at the clip, man, because, you know, racist. Like, who is this Asian guy up here talking this shit about black Americans? Why is this guy doing that? You know, Asians, for the most part, been able to kind of stay out the way while the shit was going down with the Latinos and the Hispanics. So, I don't know why the Asian dude wanted to do this, man, but here's the thing, man. The reason why ICE is not going after black Americans or foundational black Americans is because we're not immigrants, dumbass. Yeah, that's the whole point. Thank you. Kim? I think his last name's Kim. Lucky guess. Yeah, but we're not immigrants. That was sort of like my whole point with the whole Shabuzi thing. You know what I'm saying? Is that we're not immigrants. And so we can't be deported. And if they try to deport you, ching ching, you just hit the lottery. Because you should sue their ass. In fact, that may be the best thing that ever happened to you. If you're a foundational black American is being held by ICE for an unreasonable amount of time so you could go pick up a bag. That'll be the worst week of your life, but it will pay you for the next 10 years. Now, I love getting black Americans upset because we have the most open wound when it comes to race. So that's why so much of the content on the internet is geared towards bashing us, because we'll see it, we'll engage with it, which makes it very lucrative. If you make content that shits on Asians, they just ignore it. I mean, they won't engage with it to the same extent. They're not going to share it and say, look what they said about us. So that's part of the reason why we see so much of it. Because America keeps eating off of our pain, Johnson. It pays so well. Get it? So this guy right here, I appreciate he did this because unintentionally, he's actually supporting the argument that we've been making. And that argument is we can't be deported, therefore we are not in the crosshairs of ICE. Therefore, sort of like the people that did not give a shit that we have been in the crosshairs of police for as long as police have been activated. In fact, police were created to return property to its owners. Where do you think the property was that was being stolen or was leaving? Black Americans. Freedmen or formerly enslaved ADOS. Or people that, you know, formerly enslaved, those who escaped slavery. Those are the people that they were. So that's what police were invented to do, Johnson. That's where it came from. So all these people that, you know, that are talking now about ICE, they have a very close, they only care about ICE because it impacts their community. Meanwhile, we've been in the mass incarcerated group, and we remain so. It's not an insensitivity, right? But put it this way, fam, if you haven't eaten for a month, and you know you're sitting over here, stomach growling, haven't eaten for a month, and somebody gets thrown into a cell next to you, and they haven't eaten for a day, and they're crying themselves to sleep, what would your response be? That's sort of how black Americans feel about this whole mass incarceration thing, you know? I'm just like really like compressing time here. And I'm saying this one day of discomfort that these undocumented people are feeling is nothing compared to this month-long trip through the wilderness that black America has been on. Foundational black American has been on. You understand what I'm saying? That makes sense to you? So it's not an insensitivity. It's like, get up. It's like, buckle up, Johnson. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to it. So this is, maybe it's time for all these undocumented people and all the activisms, the blue bunny, the black bunny, whatever. Maybe it's time for them to dump a whole lot of money and go through their own civil rights era. You know, maybe riding off the backs of black civil rights, maybe that's not going to work for you. Maybe you're going to have to do some bus boycotts. Yeah, maybe you're going to have to get, go through some trials and tribulations like Black America, foundational Black Americans did to get what you want. Maybe just saying all those people already did it. Maybe it's coming back to roost. Maybe now it's time to pay the piper, Maybe karma's now kicking some of you immigrants in the ass who did not respect all the shit that my mom and my dad went through, sitting on the backs of buses, raising their kids and wondering if they would have a shot at anything substantial compared to white folks. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe this is your time to stand up and go through it. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, that's the worst thing in the world, is maybe other people have to deal with what we have to deal with. I mean, it's not like they weren't totally compassionate to our struggle. They're the same ones that come over here and be model citizens, be the model minority while we struggle. And say shit like, I did it, why can't you? See, it's really difficult, fam, to keep demanding that Black Americans be saints. I saw the movie Bag of Ants with Will Smith. He was that jolly-go-lucky helper to the whites or whatever, mystical creature, the magical Negro, whatever. Sort of like the Blue Mile, which is actually the Green Mile, right? The Green Mile. Really, it's truly about that young man. What's his name? Stein. Which actually is based on a horrific event that happened to a young black boy. The Green Mile. But anyway, the point is, I'm getting off topic, fam. My bad. Maybe Black Americans don't have to be your magical Negroes. We don't have to. Maybe it's time for you to be your own magical Latinos. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not obligated. And we shouldn't have to continue to be like, oh, we should look above it. We should rise above it. We should, I had that disagreement with Dr. Cornel West. Why is it you think that Black Americans have to be this, benevolent, we're the moral, we're supposed to, be, look over things and be bigger than that. And we're supposed to, and that same rhetoric was coming out of that guy on TikTok, that rice and peas. Black people, we should be able to overlook this. What am I supposed to do? Listen to these immigrants who shit on us. We should overlook, we shouldn't even pay attention to that. What? So now black people can't, somebody gonna be roasting us 24/7, making content, shitting on us, saying that we are bully catchers, that we don't work hard enough, that we are lazy, and have all these names, these racist names made up about us. You think we should not be? We're not supposed to feel a certain kind of way about that? Really? That's what conscious is to you? To be unconscious? To people that look like you, that use you to come here, that are benefiting from your pain and suffering from generation upon generation upon generation, and then to come here and shit on you and meld in with the system, and then kick sand in our faces, and what? And you think we're supposed to rise above, we're supposed to be better. Look, man. This Asian dude, he actually helped. I'm glad he made this content. I'm glad he said that on that show. I'm glad they clipped it out. I'm glad it's gone viral because the rest of the world needs to understand that. And at least all of us Black Americans and all the foundational Black Americans need to take a longer look at that and realize, yeah, What, we can't get anything out of being here? For 400, 500 years, we can't get anything out of being here? Out of being indigenous? Those of us that were? We can't get anything out of that? You just think you're entitled to everything of ours. Our legacy, our struggle, our pain, gone through none of it, but are entitled to it. Well, boo-hoo. Fee, fi, fo, fum, motherfucker. Walk it off. $200 years of mass incarceration. You can't deal with 12 months. Out of here. All right, man. Let's keep going, family. Become a member of the Tim Black Show by going to jointimblack.com and finding me on Patreon at patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Oh, man, y'all done got me bold. I'm feeling a little aggressive now. Because I think some people think shit's sweet. Now, everybody's not built like that to be a footstool, a doormat for others to come here and wipe their feet on while they step it up and go to the Ritz. Go to Ruth Chris for a steak. Become a member of this show. Go to jointimblack.com.